To the action on the local market now with a bit of help from Martin Lakos from Macquarie Private Wealth. Well, Martin Lakos, a different complexion on the offshore equity markets. Can you tell us what's been going on regional share markets, but also particularly Tokyo?
Yeah, Tiki, good evening. Look, we had slightly better news out of the US. Although US markets were weaker, in fact, Japanese listed stocks had rallied overnight. Canon, for example, was up 4%, and we had better car sales numbers for last month out of Honda, up about 6%. So that was giving us a feel that maybe things were going to start to stabilise. We had a pretty tentative start here in Australia, but ultimately did see highs up 53 points and closing up about 29. And that sort of got reflected in regional markets as well. The Japanese market and the broader Topics index was up nearly 7% at its best for the day, but has come off that very sharp rebound. And equally so, we've seen the same across other regional markets. Notably Shanghai's been a little bit better. Hong Kong is a bit flat. Back
to our local market again. I guess we better check on our uranium stocks.
Yeah, look, they really got hit very hard and understandably so in the last couple of days. So we've had both strong rallies in the uranium complex, with Paladin up nearly 13%, ERA up 10%. So a lot of this was really from a very oversold and probably even viewed now a panic position from yesterday. So a number of these stocks have rebounded.
BHP Billiton and Rio Tinto seem to have led the rally. What's that telling us about risk aversion in the market at the moment?
Yeah, well, particularly the whole the velocity of this sell down the last couple of days is all about risk aversion. So it's not only have equity markets been sold down, but equally so commodities. We saw gold down $32 last night as an example. Currencies have been hit as well. And it's all about risk aversion, removing liquidity out of markets and going to cash. And so quite understandably, when you're trying to remove liquidity, you go to the most liquid areas that you can do. And so the leaders, particularly like BHP, Rio in our market, and the bank sector, are the ones that get picked on pretty quickly by the traders and those trying to raise quick cash. Equally so, we've seen a reasonable rebound. Now, against a market, an Aussie market was barely up 1% for the close. We've seen Rio up 2% today and BHP up 1.5%. So a bit of a rebound there from pretty oversold positions over the last couple of days on that risk aversion side.
And I see surfwear company Billabong International has issued a Japan-related profit warning. What are the details there?
Well, we've got to put this in perspective. Billabong has got about 4% of its global sales in Japan, about 3% of pre-tax profits. But they have noted that for this year, their earnings, which were previously guided to be flat, are going to be down between 2% and 6%. Now, they have cited they've got about 55 stores in Japan owned by Billabong. Quite a number of those remain closed, about 18, and 13 are experiencing power failures. So clearly, there's going to be some impact on their retail sales as a result of that. But I think it's also, to some extent, for Billabong, a slight malaise on the consumer globally that's bringing them to the market to give us that guidance.
Martin Lakos, thanks for joining Late Line Business.
Thanks, Tiki.